Hello everyone, welcome to the Fundstate channel. My name is Mikhail, I will be the main speaker here. In this video, I'd like to analyze Bitcoin because we have seen tremendous growth over the past year, indicate which tokens can now be traded medium term, and analyze all the factors that actually contribute to this growth. But first, I would like to talk about where to actually trade. I'd like to recommend it to you. This is now the top one exchange for Russian people. There is a minimum commission and an extra $100 for a deposit of $3,000. There is also a zero commission for peer-to-peer on the exchange. Essentially, you can top up without any commission, and there is maximum liquidity, and the maximum number of players on the exchange is present. So, come on in, the link is under the video, and this is the only place for trading cryptocurrency under the current conditions. Now, Bitcoin on the weekly time frame is in an ascending channel, and it is very clearly visible. On the global time frame, it is building an ascending channel which was quite distinct and became visible somewhere around August 21st, as it is lining up at 3 points from Bitcoin didn't leave it, and the price of Bitcoin didn't exit. There was colossal growth, surpassing all the moving averages, and what actually happened during this whole year, it started off very high, very positive, and there were several quite significant corrections. To begin with, I would like to analyze this rising wedge and the original primary one. Everyone observed the channel here, but
идея в чем? Идея в том, что это шортовая фигура и восходящий клин пробили вниз. Очевидно, как и случается
this happens with all these types of figures. Then a short idea was expected for Bitcoin, but this low point was not updated, but it is clear that on futures for all,
видно, что на фьючерсах, на всех биржах, на бессрочных фьючерсах не был обновлен лой вот этого дня, собственно, дня пролива, выхода из этого восходящего клина с 17.
On August 17th, a lot of school students earned here because the wedge was huge. The formation was quite obvious. The idea was that after this, the shorts mood didn't come, but it did.
Шортовых настроений не настало.
Consolidation. Trading season had arrived and there was positive news, spikes of long sentiment, so to speak, but everything changed with fake news about the acceptance of ETFs. These funds are now starting to be accepted one at a time, which is inherently volatile, but it is a positive trend in the end. This is due to the fact that enormous capital from Wall Street is starting to buy for their own funds, which can also be in the trillions. So, in simple terms, what's the idea? The idea is that this candle disrupted all short ideas on a large time frame. We started a massive trend around October 19th. On the 16th there was this crash, but from the 19th onwards, all coins in the crypto market began to skyrocket. Is that right? We had several approaches to the 1,000 moving average trading up. Then there was an approach to about 3,800 trading up. Now approaching 4,400 trading up. In the future, a similar movement is expected. What does this indicate to us? Well, this is just an empty chart. There's no significant analytics. I have a lot more ideas for Bitcoin's technique, which I'll discuss later. Definitely overbought, but the majority of fundamental factors indicate the continuation of this huge rally, the beginning of a genuine bull market. I've highlighted the final date of the ETFs and the analysis with the ETFs. There was a minor squeeze, but all these squeezes that occurred were minor, and sales are bought back instantly, meaning there's a mad rush.
и все,
all short players are taken out.
всех шортовых игроков выносятся.
And which coins would I like to trade?
А какие бы
I
коины
highlight
хотелось
several coins
поторговать?
that are quite
Я
attractive. For
отмечаю несколько
example,
коинов, которые
fundamentally Ether
достаточно
Classic.
привлекательны. Например, фундаментально эфир
It has a
классик.
cool picture,
Он
and
классную
the amount
картину
of
имеет,
financial
и
resources
количество
within the
финансовых
Ether
средств
Classic network is
в
off the charts.
рамках сети эфир классика
Why?
зашкаливает.
Because the normal market has
Почему? Потому
begun.
что
Although
начался высший
$800,000 seems like nothing, but from the chart, it's clear that some sort of skyrocketing is happening
Хотя,
here.
казалось бы, 800 тысяч долларов совсем ничего, да, но по графику видно, что тут какой-то тузымун происходит, да, на
And in
плане
terms of the locked-in
залоченной
value,
стоимости, да, то есть
meaning the funds that are located
средств, которые
in the Ether Classic network,
находятся в сети эфир классика и ожидают какого-то рода дивидендов, да, и как мы видим по этому графику, сравнение TVL, да, то есть вот этой залоченной стоимости и цены, в большинстве случаев в прошлом, да, тренд цены и тренд TVL совпадали, раньше вот, взлетела цена, потом TVL, а сейчас очень сильно взлетел TVL, и цена за ним не поспевает, да, не поспевает, потому что только начало бычьего рынка, только взлетел биткоин, а как мы
well,
знаем,
Bitcoin has skyrocketed. And as we know, according to the cycle, Bitcoin is the first to rise in the crypto market. So the hyper-classical idea is quite appealing.
Тут невооруженным глазом видно нисходящий клин.
Here you can easily see the downward wedge. We'll analyze it now. The blue and green lines show the limits of this wedge. A descending wedge is a bullish figure. It's typically traded for an upward breakout. It had a significant impact on this price, the price of this particular asset, so to say. There were Bitcoin squeezes, there were squeezes of 25%, but to me, such kind of squeezes indicate increased interest in this coin, precisely because all the information I mentioned earlier was publicly available, and many people see it as undervalued specifically from the perspective of the fundamentals of this coin. Well, technically, it also looks great. So, on a breakout of 21,859, I would be here confident enough to take a long position because positivity in the market only distributes liquidity. We'll talk more about this later, but this is such a basic big idea. I have highlighted two demand zones here. The idea is that this coin will provide a massive number of X's. The potential here is huge, up to 40 to 45. In fact, I have marked the levels and a maximum of 65, but we'll have to wait a year for this. Of course, these benefits, if there is a good entry point. However, Bitcoin's dominance is now developing a head and shoulders pattern. Naturally, it is very difficult to analyze Bitcoin's dominance purely technically, since it is more of an indicator than some kind of measure, you know what I mean? The idea is that visually, with this head and shoulders, we break a huge ascending trend by dominance. In other words, the connection between the strength of the Bitcoin trend and the strength of the alt trends. Clearly, Bitcoin's trend strength has increased recently because all the news revolves around it and all the narrative and discussion are about it. But it starts to fall. It starts to fall significantly on shorter time frames, even shorter than oil. It's clear that we have significant squeezes happening. Yes, to fall, yes we are.
Идут сквизы, так сказать, да, падения, да, мы видим на этом.
You can see this in the chart, and if there's a break in this expected trend, that is, we should decline from this red zone.
При сломе этого восходящего тренда мы
If this upward trend is broken, we'll observe an alt season, so to speak, when a significant amount of money will flow in volts. Let's take a look. Here's the chart. This is total 3, meaning the entire thing.
Это total 3. То есть все финансовые средства,
the financial resources invested in crypto, apart from Ether and Bitcoin, are just a small amount for the global financial system. We have $482 billion available, and I remind you that Bitcoin is already 905. Just last week it was 800. The idea is that there is a huge upward trend, and this signifies that the number of players and the amount of financial resources prices in
да,
this
и,
space will only
естественно,
increase,
тут
obviously.
как раз в пробой вот этой тысячной скользящей средней, чисто по технике, будет наблюдаться альт-сезон. Будет наблюдаться огромного вида рост, который, собственно, уже был в 2021 году. Циклично, да, циклично происходил, вон там, в 2017 году. Наблюдался. И сейчас тоже ожидается, может быть, даже достаточно рано в плане цикла биткоина, но уверенно, так сказать, идет к своей цели. Что еще хотел разобрать, так это соотношение эфира к биткоину, да, очень интересный такой график.
This is a very interesting chart.
Также
It's more of an
является
indicator than a
индикатором,
specific price point.
как
It indicates to us
показателем,
where
да, то
the
есть
market's
конкретной
focus
цены.
is right
Он
now,
более
where the player's interest is.
Указывает нам на то, где сейчас фокус рынка, где сейчас интерес игроков. И как раз можно сейчас считать,
We can calculate based on past data and technical analysis that Ether,
что эфир, отношение эфира к битку рисует свое дно. Да, рисует свое дно, очень сильно отскакивает от этих вот от соотношения 0,51. И при наличии роста в
and
этом
if there's a growth in this ratio,
происходит
there will
рост,
also
собственно,
be a
и
growth of
эфира.
Ether itself. This is
Почему
observable because
это
Ether will
наблюдается?
have its
Потому
own
что
turn. That
эфир
is,
тоже
all
будет
the
иметь свои
players who
ETF,
see
да,
how
то есть
sensibly
все
and
игроки, которые
joyfully
видят, как
ETFs
здраво
are
и
applied
весело
will also get
применяются,
involved.
принимаются ETF на биток, также видят, что
He
с
also
такого
sees
рода
that with this kind of
скоростью будут
speed,
приниматься ETF
ETFs will
на
be accepted
эфир.
on Ethereum,
И
combined
скоростью,
with
и
confidence
уверенностью,
and,
да,
so
и,
to
так
speak,
сказать,
zeal.
рвением, да. Поэтому, собственно, эфир
Therefore,
со своего
Ethereum, with one
одного
of the
из
strongest
самых крутых
patterns in the
паттернов на
market,
рынке,
that is an
восходящего
ascending
треугольника,
triangle, a
огромного
huge daily
вверх
ascending
восходящего
triangle,
треугольника,
will
будет только
go
эфир.
up.
Тут тоже очень много аналитики,
There's a
по ней
lot of
пройдемся
analysis here. We will
дальше,
go through it further in the
дальше по
video, I
видео,
mean in the future.
в будущих имеется в виду видосиках.
The
Идея в
idea
чем?
is
Идея в
that
том,
the
что
current
сейчас
exit from
выход с
this
этого
rising
восходящего
triangle
треугольника
predicts an
прогнозирует
increase
нам
at a range
рост
from the
на
base of the
расстояние
triangle.
от базы
That is,
треугольника,
there's
да, то
about
есть там
$1 in terms of
1000
price.
долларов
Yes, that is,
в плане
we
цены.
cannot
Ну, примерно,
pinpoint the
да, то есть мы
exact
не можем
figure,
указать
but
точную
we can
цифру,
certainly
но
discuss
точно можно говорить
significant
о
strong growth.
существенно мощном росте.
Why?
Почему?
Because
Потому
the
что
Fiera
паттерн
pattern,
эфира,
for example,
например,
now
сейчас
aligns with the
попадает в паттерн
Solana
Solana.
pattern, and Solana is quite a hyped
Solana
project.
достаточно такой
Yes,
проект, который захайпован, да,
it's
на
growing due
хайпе
to the hype.
растет, но
But
идея
the
в чем,
point
что
is that the market is
торговочка на
soaring off the
1000
average and
скользящей средней
displaying
и
colossal
колоссальный рост
upward
вверх,
growth, which
который
is
тоже
also challenging, so to
сложно,
speak, a
так сказать,
squeeze, but still
сквизит,
remains at
но все
high
равно
levels.
остается на
Yes, this kind
высоких
of growth is
показателях, да, все равно
unprecedented.
такого рода рост, он беспрецедентен.
One token
Так
I
вот,
would
еще
like to
один токен, который
emphasize,
хотел бы
Ether
выделить,
Classic,
эфир
is
классик как
included
раз
in
входит
this
в
list of tokens that
в
are
этот список
associated with
токенов,
Ether.
которые связаны
Logically,
с
yes, Ether,
эфиром.
Ether.
Логично, да? Эфир,
Eldo
эфир,
is strongly tied with Ether.
LDO
They have a very
очень
close
хорошо
connection,
связан с эфиром,
and you
очень
can see, based
тесно
on
у них
its
связь.
price
И
list
как
and
раз
price
мы видим,
movement,
собственно, по
that it has
просекшему
also
его, да,
been
по
breaking its
ценовому
highs,
движению,
aiming
что
for
за
the moon
последние дни он
itself.
тоже
Yes.
пробивает свои максимумы
As they say
и
in the
стремится,
crypto market,
собственно,
I have
на
less
Луну, да,
analysis
как
here.
говорят на
The
крипторынке.
point
Тут
is
меньше
that it
аналитики
is
у меня,
quite
потому что
volatile,
он достаточно
but there is
волатильный,
a
но
confident
пробой,
breakout,
вот,
a
уверенный пробой,
confident
уверенный
fixation on the
на
day
вверх, если
if we
там
stay
4
over
дня
3
постоим
for
на
3 to 4 days.
3.89,
There may be
там
another
может
round of
наблюдаться
colossal
еще
growth
один
at
виток колоссального роста,
3.89,
потому что мы
since
уже
we are
над
already
уровнем,
mega
уже мега
overbought
перекуплены,
above
и
the
все
moving
равно
average anyway.
продолжается
This kind of takeoff
такого рода
continues. Yes, that
взлет,
is, it
да,
may
то
seem
есть он
improbable to some, but this has
может
been
кому-то показаться,
seen
что я говорю
many
сейчас о каких-то
times.
вещах
Yes, that
менее
is,
возможных,
here the
чем
moving averages are higher.
чем реальность,
It's
да,
been growing for a very
но
long
это
time.
наблюдалось уже очень много раз, да, то есть тут вот выше мувингов он рос очень долго, да, то есть можно посмотреть сколько.
You can see the span of 34 bars, which means 34 days. Yes, for an entire month, it was rushing up without any breaks. Yes, that is, Aldo's idea is good, actually. Let's look at another token in this list that is connected with Ether. ARB also updated the high continues to grow, in fact. Maybe a trader, maybe long enough, but excluding continued growth here is very, very stupid, especially in the presence of a bull market in general for crypto interest. Yes, hype and exposure. The exposure on the positive side of this situation with the ETF.
Ну и интереса, да, хайпа и, так сказать, разоблачение в позитивную сторону ситуации с ETF.
The last token, not very well known, is SSP SCCV. I don't have any analysis for it. The idea is that it's connected to Ether, and the same kind of scenario can happen to it too, even though it's less liquid. Yes, there is less money in it, fewer players in it. It's also a good setup. Great. You need to look for local entry ideas. Thank you for your attention.
Меньше в нем денег, меньше в нем игроков. Тоже хороший сетап, шикарно. Там надо искать локальные идеи на вход. Спасибо за внимание.